Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and this is our daily lectionary readings for Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. We have our three readings. Psalm 95 is the psalm reading that we are resting in. Chronicles chapter 11, verses 1 through 9 is the Old Testament. And Revelation chapter 7, verses 13 through 17 is our New Testament reading. Let's take a listen in and see what the scriptures say to us today. Come, let's shout praises to God. Raise the roof for the rock who saved us. Let's march into his presence singing praises, lifting the rafters with our hymns. And why? Because God is the best, high king over all gods. In one hand, he holds deep caves and caverns. In the other hand, he grasps the high mountains. He made oceans. He owns it. His hands sculpted the earth. So come, let us worship. Bow before him, on your knees before God, who made us. Oh yes, he's our God. And we're the people he pastures, the flock that he feeds. Drop everything and listen. Listen as he speaks. Don't turn a deaf ear as in the bitter uprising. As on the day of the wilderness test, when your ancestors turned and put me on the test. For 40 years, they watched me at my work among them. As over and over, they tried my patience. And I was provoked. Oh, was I provoked. Can't they keep their minds on God for 5 minutes? Do they simply refuse to walk down my road? Exasperated, I exploded. They'll never get where they're headed, never be able to sit down and rest. Our Old Testament reading today comes from the book of Chronicles chapter 11, verses 1 through 9, and we center in on King David. Hear these words. Then all Israel assembled before David at Hebron. Look at us, they said. We're your very flesh and blood. In the past, yes, even while Saul was king, you were the real leader of Israel. God told you, you will shepherd my people Israel. You are to be the ruler of my people Israel. When all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron, David made a covenant with them in the presence of God at Hebron. Then they anointed David king over Israel, exactly as God had commanded through Samuel. David and all of Israel went to Jerusalem. It was the old Jebus, where the Jebusites lived. The citizens of Jebus told David, no trespassing. You can't come here. David came on anyway and captured the fortress of Zion, the city of David. David had said, the first person to kill a Jebusite will be commander-in-chief. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was the first, and he became the chief. David took up residence in the fortress city. That's how it's got its name, City of David. David fortified the city all the way around, both the outer bulwarks and the outside wall. Joab rebuilt the city gates, and David's stride became longer, his embrace larger. Yes, God of the angel armies was with him. Our New Testament reading today comes from the book of Revelations, chapter 7, verses 13 through 17. Just then, one of the elders addressed me. Who are these dressed in white robes, and where did they come from? Taken back, I said, oh, sir, I have no idea, but you must know. Then he told me, these are those who come from the great tribulation, and they washed their robes, scrubbed them clean in the blood of the Lamb. That's why they're standing before God's throne. They serve him day and night in the temple. The one on the throne will pitch his tents for them. No more hunger, no more thirst, no more scorching heat. The Lamb on the throne will shepherd them, will lead them to the spring waters of life, and God will wipe away every last tear from their eyes. And here ends our readings for the day.